Did you know that you can use crystals to heal your life? Hi, my name is Leah Chantel, and today I'm talking about the healing qualities of crystals and why they're so important. In the previous video, I talked about how important it is to have a positive mindset about something you're trying to manifest, and that if we feel badly about anything that we are trying to manifest, it's probably not going to work out or work very well for you. And so crystals are incredible when there is something that you do want to manifest, but there's something unhealed there. There's something negative blocking you. It could be a relationship, it could be money, it could be so many different things in your life, or maybe it's just lack of motivation to get something done. So whatever it is that needs healing in your life, you can buy crystals to help you. Or maybe you believe that somebody is really bullying you or trying to get under your skin. In those cases too, you can find crystals that'll help heal that as well and give you some more protection and healing from the universe. And people will criticize crystals and say that they're just rocks or they don't work. The fact of the matter is that crystals are very inexpensive. They all have different symbolic meanings and purposes, and they just feel good. Like, all you need to do is find one that feels good to you and purchase it, and it will help you with whatever issues you have going on in your life. And if you can't afford therapy because you don't have the benefits for that through your work or the money for that and your spare income, crystals can work really well for healing, and they're really inexpensive. And there's so many different things you can do with crystals. You can create a grid to help you manifest something, or maybe you just need a tiny little one to give you some healing, or maybe you need a huge one. Whatever size you choose, it should be the size that feels good to you. And some crystals can actually have very strong energy. So you want to be careful about what you put on your bedside, because some of them have amazing healing energy and they could be suitable for you to sleep with under your pillow or by your bedside. Others may have a very strong energy and that might actually upset your sleep. It depends what the crystal is for. And you can read about them in crystal Bibles to find out which crystals are which and what do they symbolize and what kinds of effects do they have on your sleep, or are they energizing, or do they help you sleep? Read up on that, but then also go by your own experience. That's actually more important than reading up on something. So reading up is good because it gives you a general idea of what to expect, but you should always go by your intuition about what feels good. If you want to sleep with a rose quartz because you're trying to attract love into your life, I don't think there's anything really wrong with keeping that under your pillow, unless it doesn't feel good to you for some reason. Or if you want some citrine because you're trying to motivate yourself to create a business or write a book or some creative project that you're trying to manifest in the world, maybe a stone like citrine would be helpful to help stimulate your solar plexus chakra and get you motivated to working on the project. Or maybe you're feeling very threatened by something and you need something like obsidian to help you feel protected. Black stones in general really help with protection. And even if you're outside walking on a beach and you see a very black stone, that can serve the same purpose for protection. Those are also great if you're feeling scared or vulnerable for any reason. There are just so many different crystals for so many different purposes, and some of the stores, yes, they could be expensive, but there are places where you can get crystals affordably. And they're such a great tool to help you build your intuition and help you heal from any issues you've been having in your life. I really recommend them, not just because this is an intuitive empathic channel, and yes, we talk about crystals and herbs and plants and things like that and their healing qualities, but it's just good for every single person on the planet who just needs to heal from a broken heart in a relationship or a job that didn't go well. It's just, we all have these up and downs as humans, and not all of us can go to a highly trained therapist right on the spot to have them all healed. And so why not take advantage of the tools that are out there that help us heal our spirit from these difficult encounters in life. We all could use a little bit more healing. I don't think there's anybody on the planet who's never been hurt, who's never had a negative experience. Even if you're a really rotten person, you probably will complain about something in your past that made you feel victimized and justify it as the reason why you're behaving so rotten. So why not just heal it instead of behaving negatively and taking it out on other people, you know? That's one of the worst things you can do, is if you've been through something bad and then you take it out on other people who are good people, you know, that is a terrible thing, because that creates an effect that will come back to you from the universe 3 times. And unfortunately, a lot of people are kind of lazy and complacent and don't have a lot of high moral values these days. And so they'll do a lot of bad behaviors, not realizing that they're bringing more negativity back to themselves. So you don't want to be one of those people. It's just completely unnecessary to behave like that. Although it's getting more and more common, you just don't want to be caught in that undertow of negative karma that's going on in society. You want to rise above that wave, and you do that by healing yourself and finding various tools that assist you on that healing journey. And crystals are just one of those amazing tools. But you can also use greenery and plants in your home. You could grow herbs in your garden, and they all have different symbolic meanings and purposes. You can even paint certain colors on your walls in your home to represent something, and that can also be very healing for you. So whatever it is you decide to choose in order to heal yourself, it's all good in the end. But I just wanted to bring up crystals as being one of those things that are super important. You can go really in depth on them. For example, you can cleanse your crystals and you can charge them, and there are various ways of doing that. Often salt is a good way to cleanse them, or water, or putting them out in moonlight can charge them and give them more energy, but it depends on the crystal. So some crystals you don't want to get wet, and each type has their own instructions about how to charge them or cleanse them. Because when we do get crystals from the store, they have been handled by other people. And so when we choose to bring something into our home that's been handled by another person, we pick up a bit of their energy, and that's normal. But if they were in a bad mood or had a bad life event going on at that time, it's a good idea to cleanse and clear that object, just to make sure you're not bringing that negativity into your home. And actually, I love buying things secondhand, but it is something to keep in mind when you do buy secondhand, is that you pick up on the energy of the person who last wore that item. And so it's a good idea to cleanse and clear the item, you know, to bring it into your home to make sure that it's not going to have a negative influence on your life. And even when it's something brand new, it still gets handled by the warehouse workers who was putting the clothing together. And that's why it's so important to buy clothes from providers who engage in good workplace practices and treat their workers well, who are creating the items, because their energy gets passed on to you. And so you want to make sure that everything you bring into your home has good, high energy. I know that's tricky and it can be expensive sometimes to buy these higher quality items. Just think about quality over quantity. Like, we buy so much junk and we buy so much stuff that we don't need a lot of the time, and then we bring negative energy into our home because they create clutter and they create a negative vibration. But what we want to do instead is bring high quality things that bring positive energy into our home. And crystals are just one of those things that people don't realize how positive their influence can be and how much healing they can bring into your life, that I want to make people aware of and advocate for their use, because they're just so helpful. You can carry them in your pockets, you can carry them in your purse, you can put them in your couch or your bed or wherever you hang out the most in your home, and they will just have a positive influence on your mind and help give you good energy on anything that you're trying to heal or manifest in your life. So I hope you buy some crystals that you really enjoy, or if you're like, I can't afford any crystals, go to the beach and pick up like a soft stone, or go someplace where you can find rocks in your local neighborhood. And you can find things when you're out walking in nature that have positive influences. And sometimes those things are actually better than something you buy in the store, because there isn't anybody else's energy on it. It's just coming purely from nature. And so those things can be very valuable if you've got any resources or any beautiful natural places you can visit where you can find little pebbles and stones. Go visit those places and go for a walk and look for them, because they're just as valuable as picking up a crystal in a crystal shop. I hope you're all having an amazing week. And if you have any crystals that you really enjoy, definitely comment down below and tell me about them. I'd be really curious to see what kinds of crystals you enjoy using. And I hope you're all having an amazing week. Take care. Bye now.